The lunar nodes are not physical bodies. They are symbolic reference points. They are formed where the moon's orbit around the Earth intersects with the Earth's orbit around the Sun. One of these points is closer to the North Pole and is called the North Node. The other lies closer to the South Pole and is known as the South Node. Some astrologers consider the lunar nodes secondary. Others see them as absolutely central. In fact, if you had very limited time to explain a person's life direction, understanding only the lunar nodes could already be deeply revealing, because the nodes describe a fundamental axis of development, where we come from and where we are being drawn to grow. North Node in Cancer, 4th house, South Node in Capricorn, 10th house. When the North Lunar Node is in Cancer or the 4th house and the South Lunar Node is in Capricorn or the 10th house, the individual is called to develop the healthy qualities of Cancer while becoming conscious of the shadow expressions of Capricorn, which feel far more familiar and instinctive. This person can be likened to fertile land, a ground on which many beautiful flowers can grow. Yet paradoxically, they often wish to be one of the flowers themselves, admired, respected, and recognized by the outer world. Because of an unconscious fixation on Capricorn 10th house themes, they may strive relentlessly to become someone worthy of public respect, authority, or status. However, when the North Node lies in Cancer, it reveals a very different life direction. Here we find a person whose emotional capacity, nurturing instincts, and empathic sensitivity are meant to nourish others, much like fertile soil that allows life to grow. For this individual, attempting to reach fulfillment through rigid plans, strict discipline, and carefully structured goals aimed at social recognition is not only misguided, but often unsuccessful. In truth, this path has already been lived. The lesson of ambition, responsibility, and achievement has already been learned and completed. What remains is a deeper task: to turn inward, reconnect with the inner world, establish an authentic relationship with one's own emotions, and begin to nurture others from that emotional foundation. Having personal goals and organizing one's life around them is, of course, natural. The danger arises when this pursuit comes at the cost of neglecting the inner world. Without emotional nourishment, intimacy, and genuine closeness, no amount of external success can bring real satisfaction. In the early stages of this nodal axis, there is often a compulsive orientation toward the outer world. The need to control life, others, and circumstances becomes dominant. There is an unconscious belief that if everything is managed, regulated, and contained, then safety will finally be achieved, and only then can vulnerability be allowed. Yet life never offers that level of control. True safety emerges not from mastery, but from the willingness to become emotionally open, sensitive, and exposed. Cancer qualities to be developed: awareness of emotional reactions, recognition and nourishment of emotional needs, creating emotional safety, developing a healthy sense of belonging, expressing feelings and insecurities honestly, responding sensitively to the emotional needs of others, protecting, supporting, and nurturing those around you. Capricorn patterns to be released: the compulsive need to control everything, managing situations before truly understanding them, feeling responsible for everyone and everything, acting primarily for status, reputation, or social approval, neglecting personal emotions, believing that life must always be hard, demanding and earned through struggle. South Node in Cancer, 4th house, North Node in Capricorn, 10th house. When the South Lunar Node is in Cancer or the 4th house, and the North Lunar Node is in Capricorn or the 10th house, the individual is called to develop the healthy qualities of Capricorn while becoming aware of the shadow patterns of Cancer, which feel far more familiar and emotionally safe. This life path requires the person to leave the comfort of the inner shell, the home, the private world, the emotional cocoon, and move toward finding their place within the social and collective structure. Symbolically, this journey resembles leaving the womb. nourishing oneself, growing up, discovering personal abilities, developing them through experience, and gradually defining meaningful goals. Through this process, the individual learns to claim their authority and establish a place in the outer world. Although this person is often deeply sensitive and emotionally attuned, they may appear outwardly as someone who has no emotional needs, strong, composed, and self-sufficient. To some extent, this strength is real. However, when faced with a major crisis, early childhood coping patterns can resurface, revealing unresolved emotional dependencies. The core difficulty here lies in the fear of emotional pain. Because the individual avoids confronting their own emotional needs, such as vulnerability, hurt, or unmet attachment, they become overly focused on attending to the needs of others. As a result, they often create an environment filled with emotionally dependent people. This dynamic allows them to avoid taking full responsibility for their own life direction and delays the process of building an independent, self-directed existence. Even if such a person is highly successful in their professional life, this imbalance remains unresolved. At home, they may unconsciously sustain a network of dependency. In truth, their greatest responsibility is to help others grow and eventually let them go. But this can only happen after they themselves have truly grown up. Capricorn qualities to be developed. Approaching life as an adult. Focusing on long-term goals. Progressing step by step. Making conscious choices. Committing to those choices. Taking responsibility for the outcomes. Contributing meaningfully to society. Cancer patterns to be released. Emotional volatility. Dependency. Moodiness, and hypersensitivity, restricting oneself due to anxiety, conditioning rooted in the past, insecurity that leads to stagnation, the supermother role, the unconscious desire to retreat back into emotional safety, or the womb. North Node in Leo, 5th house, South Node in Aquarius, 11th house. When the North Lunar Node is in Leo, or the 5th house, and the South Lunar Node is in Aquarius, or the 11th house, the individual is called to develop the healthy qualities of Leo while becoming conscious of the shadow expressions of Aquarius, which feel more familiar and emotionally safe. This person often tends to go with the flow, avoiding standing out or placing themselves at the center of life. There may be an unconscious belief such as, if I cooperate with the group, adapt to it, and submit to its rules, I will receive the love I need. They are accustomed to standing on the sidelines watching others perform. Life is approached more as something to be observed rather than lived. As a result, there is often difficulty with action, initiative, and self-expression. Because this individual has developed a strong habit of detached intellectual observation, they may neglect full participation in life. Yet this lifetime is precisely about learning to participate, to perform, to play, to take the stage, and to enjoy life through direct experience. Due to their tendency to blend into groups, they may hide what truly lives in their heart. However, what is required is exactly the opposite: to bring forth what is inside, to express creativity, and to allow the inner self to be seen. The greatest obstacle here is the fear of not being applauded, not being appreciated, or not being loved for who they truly are. Because these individuals often do not know how to play like a child, they are meant to learn through children, not necessarily by having their own, but by being close to childlike energy, spontaneity, and joy. Leo qualities to be developed: personal presence, self-confidence, willingness to take risks, stepping into the spotlight, listening to the voice of the heart, creating projects that bring genuine joy, approaching life as a game, expressing inner truth openly, encouraging and inspiring others, beginning each day with enthusiasm and vitality. Aquarius, patterns to be released, emotional coldness and distance, conforming to peer pressure in order to belong. The attitude of, I am different from everyone else, seeking attention through eccentricity. Herd mentality, observing life from a distance like a laboratory experiment. Constant rebellion without heartfelt purpose. Before we close this part, remember this. The lunar nodes are not about being good or bad. They describe patterns you already know and directions you are here to grow into. If you want to work with this knowledge consciously, check which sign and house your north and south nodes are in, and notice where life keeps pushing you to evolve. I'd really like to hear from you. Which house are your lunar nodes in, and what themes keep repeating in your life? Write it in the comments. In part 4, the final episode of this series, we will complete the lunar nodes journey and bring all the axes together into one clear framework. If you don't want to miss the final part, subscribe and turn on notifications.